This is the ancient Greek myth that inspired the Hunger Games. So the story itself begins with a king, King Minos. Now, Minos wanted to rule over Crete, and in order to become king, he made a promise to Poseidon. He asked that Poseidon send him a majestic bull from the sea, the bull being one of Poseidon's animals, and when he did, he would sacrifice it to the god, ensuring his place as king. Now, Poseidon did as he was asked. Minos became king, but he never sacrificed the bull, and you should not offend the ancient Greek gods. If there's one thing you should do, you should not offend the ancient Greek gods. So Poseidon curses Minos' wife Pasiphae to fall in love with a bull, and one thing leads to another, and Pasiphae becomes pregnant with what is the Minotaur, aka the bull of Minos, although Minos is not the father. And when this baby is born, Minos has it trapped, caged in a labyrinth which he has the inventor Daedalus built for him. Yes, the same Daedalus who was the father of Icarus, who, you know, the wings. Years later, after a conflict between Athens and Crete, the Athenians are forced to send a sacrifice to Crete annually of 7 men and 7 women, or 7 boys and 7 girls. These Athenian youths are then sent to Crete and sacrificed to the Minotaur. They are placed inside of a labyrinth. The door is closed because the labyrinth has a door, and you can guess what happens. Until eventually a young prince named Theseus, who has found his way home to Athens, where he is, like I said, the prince, decides he cannot stand this any longer, and he decides to volunteer as a sacrifice. Seeing the parallels now, Theseus joins the other 13 sacrifices and travels to Crete, where he meets Princess Ariadne, the daughter of Minos and Pasiphae, and Ariadne is immediately taken by Theseus. She thinks he's quite a handsome and intriguing young man, so she gives him the infamous ball of thread, and when Theseus then travels into the labyrinth the next day, he takes this ball of thread, he ties it to the closed door to the exit, and unravels it as he goes. Eventually, he comes up against the Minotaur, who he manages to defeat in a fist fight. So he defeats the Minotaur, and he uses the string that he has kept with him to find his way back to the door and leave the labyrinth to inform everybody that he has defeated the Minotaur. Minos, meanwhile, not so happy, but Ariadne very pleased, and she decides to run off with Theseus. However, this is not a love story, and Theseus decides he doesn't actually fancy her during the journey and dumps her on an island. So that's its whole own story in itself. Of course, as with all Greek mythology, there is plenty more that happens afterwards, but I think that is the incident which holds the main parallels